Hi everyone. I'm making this video today to share a tool that I've been able to use in various aspects of my life to overcome really tough mental challenges. I think I learned about this first from David Goggins. In his book Can't Hurt Me, he talks about how we have this thing, he calls it the 40% rule. We reach a point where we don't think we can go any further with whatever we're doing, whether it's physically, mentally studying for something, physically exerting ourselves. We hit this point and our mind is like, I can't do this anymore, it's too much. And that is where we hit our personal 40%. And one of the strategies that he uses is when he gets to that point, he will kind of trick his brain and be like, okay, when I get to this next hill, I'll let myself take a break. Or when I run another mile this race, then maybe I'll think about quitting. And you get to that next mile and then it's like, okay, after this, the next hill. So I've been able to take that and adopt it. And on my runs, I start to get tired. My brain's like, this sucks. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm like, okay. Like, we'll stop and walk, as soon as we get to this telephone pole. We get to the pole. Cool. Great job. Success. Yes. Celebrate that tiny little micro win. Dopamine, right? Okay, we go from here. Next telephone pole. We'll take a break then. So you chunk a larger task of running several miles, which is a small task for a lot of accomplished runners out there, but for someone like myself, larger task, you chunk it down into small bite-sized pieces, and that's all you give your brain to contend with. Eckhart Tolle, in his book called The Power of Now, talks about how a lot of us get overwhelmed by the mental scope of what we have ahead of us. So anxiety frequently is us stressing and fantasizing about a future that we don't want to experience. And it's the sheer vastness of what we have ahead of us that can cause ourselves to give up or to become overwhelmed and miserable. So, and he talks about too how typically we can accept whatever the sensations are that we're experiencing in this now moment. We might not be able to accept it later or accept the idea of this going on for another 3, 6, 10 hours, but we can accept this now moment as it is, right? So I was able to also apply this in commercial fishing when I was in Alaska because, we'd work an 18-hour day or a 20-hour day, and it's mentally exhausting. And when you think about the fact, for me being a first-time deckhand, I'm thinking about, oh my God, we have 120 more hours of this work week left. Like, this is too much. And then we get to sleep 4 hours, and I'm just mentally panicking and already losing this mental battle. But if I think of it as, none of that matters. None of that matters. All we have to worry about is this one set, this one catch. Got that done? Cool, good job. Now all we have to worry about is clearing the net out. Cool, done. Now all we have to worry about is, putting the fish in the hold. And now we just get to sit down and relax. Check. And it's really important too when you do this to really allow yourself to celebrate those little small accomplishments, because those will give you the motivation to keep going and keep pushing yourself. And the more present you become with this, the more it feels like you just do one thing and then your whole day is done. When I did Vipassana meditation in Thailand and in Costa Rica, and we do very, very slow walking meditation where it might take an hour and a half to walk around like a large block, because every step is like this. And you're aware of every single sensation. And that's intense for the brain at first, because the mind's like, oh my God, I'm so bored. This is taking forever, blah, blah, blah. This is stupid. But the more present you become and the more aware and the more tuned in, the more time slows down and dilates. And before you know it, you get up to do the walking meditation and it feels like you take one step and then you're sitting back down in meditation. And most recently, I was reminded of this because a couple days ago, I went for a run in the morning. I got kind of an allergy attack from the pollen around here. And then I had to go work on my solar job, knocking doors. And it was really hot out. It's like 93, 94 degrees, which is still cool by our standards in Vegas, but it was really intense. And I felt this, like, my eye was swollen. I kept sneezing and I was just uncomfortable. And my brain's like, this sucks. Like, don't do this anymore, man. Just stop. Like, go home early. And I was listening to it and I was like, I will, like, I hear you, just one more door. And I knocked the door, talked to the person, hop back in the car. Yes, good job. Just one more door, just one more. Get up, do the same thing, one more door. I knocked about 61 doors that day. it's not the best. Like my goals these days are to hit about 100, but out of those doors, I set one appointment and that turned into a deal the next day. So it was worth it. And now I'm very glad that I used that tool to push myself when it was very difficult. So I hope that helps you guys. I hope it's something you can apply to your own lives, however that looks, whether you're a student studying in school. And, you know, you can use the primacy recency principle with that. For example, like, give yourself the goal, I'm going to study really hard for 20 minutes and then take a break for 5. Or I'm going to study really hard for 30 minutes. Yes, accomplished. Take a couple minute break. Stretch your body, oxygenate, stretch, do all that stuff. Or an athlete, you know, you can probably figure out how to apply it in the way that works best for you. But yeah, I really hope this serves you, and I wish you all a beautiful day. Cheers.